everyone. Good evening. My name is Rochelle Lid Smith, and I'm from Stamping Flair. Thank you so much for joining me. I am a card maker and a paper crafter, and I'm here to share with you the fourth in my series for February, which is my card creation series. And this month I featured the To The Point label punch, and I'm going to be sharing a rustic card with you today. And I will go through all the cards we created this month. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm on Facebook in the right place as well. And I'm thankful for you spending some time with me. So please say hello and tell me what you're doing this Friday evening and maybe perhaps what you're doing this weekend. I Weekends are always good. And a lovely way to catch up, isn't it, on so many things we have to do. I'll be doing lots of crafting. I'm planning all my swaps for on stage, which is coming up in about a week, a little less than 2 weeks. But lots of die cutting and stuff to do. So we have work to do. So next month, my card creation series will be the mixed florals. So that is a beautiful bundle, and I've had some fun with that. So come join me there. Now I will be opening it up again for kids, but you won't be able to craft along. You'll get it at the end of the month. So I'm kind of working my way through this series. This is a new series, and I'm trying to find out what is the best way. I know some of you have the kits for next month, so you'll be able to craft along. But if you haven't got the kits, don't worry. You'll be able to get it and craft after. Okay. Hi, Anita. Thank you for joining me. Yes, prepping for two classes and kind of trying to catch up too, so we can be ahead and we're not. We can relax on stage and not stress too much of all the things that have to be done, isn't it? So I will open that up so you can order the kit. So the following month is tomorrow. So for April, I will start advertising tomorrow so you can have the new kits and you can craft along with me. So today's card we are creating is this. This is with the country flowers. It seems like we've had this bundle a very long time. We haven't actually, it's been a year. It came in the last annual catalog, and we will actually be seeing as demonstrators the new annual catalog when we go to Brisbane, or if you're in Brisbane, when we go to on stage. So this is what we'll be seeing. A new product. So this is last year, and I will show you what the four cards we have created this month, and you can purchase the PDF that is still available. I mean, that will be in my store, which you can purchase. So this is week one. This is week two. This is actually Valentine's Day, but I had a sample with Valentine's Day, and then we created this, which is a bit of a beachy one. And here again, we went beach, but we used the Sale-A-Bration Friendly Seagull stamp set, and we created some waves with that label. Now, the Sale-A-Bration offer is finishing today, so if you want any Sale-A-Bration products, make sure you place an order, and every $100 is going to earn you a free product. So that ends tonight, and it is a great opportunity for you to. I did pop on earlier on my Facebook Live to like. It's a great opportunity for you to get your any cardstock, basic white, your crumb cakes, your basic black, your adhesives which you use, blending brushes, basic stuff that you generally use. It's worthwhile getting and having dimensionals, things like that, because you're going to get a free product anyway, so you might as well do it now so you can get that free. So I've got some pecan pie here, and the inks I'll be using today, if you wanted to Just craft along with me. I'm going to be using early espresso, pecan pie, and mossy meadow. My early espresso is really gunky. I tried to clean it, but it's just I've got some ink inside, so it's messy. But doesn't affect the condition of it. So you got a pecan pie card base, and in the kits that you will have all these little bits and pieces. Of you get that, and you will get some die cuts and things like that. So I include all that, so it's easy. So the first thing maybe we'll do, just working out what I'm going to do first, we will blend some ink. Nice and easy. We'll get our pecan pie. And we will just blend that around. Now, I'm just taking off. I had used the same thing for early espresso, so I'm just going to take it off a bit. And we'll load it up. I'm getting a little bit excited for our trip to Brisbane. Should be fun. I'm just going over, just start off the page. So, I mean, this is quite strong here. I have got it a bit darker than I probably wanted, but it's okay because I was going to go with early espresso anyway. So, it's nice. Just sometimes on one side it might get a bit extra. So, going around with pecan pie. And I just want to add some depth to this card, right, just on the edges. And you can bring it in a little bit and you'll just have a lighter shade in the middle. So you're leaving the cardstock as is. Going to bring in early espresso. Pecan pie is a beautiful color. It's a warm tone. It's like a natural, but it's warm. So it really picks it up. So I'm just bringing in this, and this has a real vintagey look. It almost has that when you have a bit of like a singed look. It gives a nice effect. When you blend it, it's gonna get inky a bit, but that's the fun of ink blending. And I've added some. Oh, that might go on the inside because my top layer was a little bit shorter. Now I'll keep my early espresso, and I'm going to bring in. I had a layer off. Where did it go? Save me. I had a layer of embossed cardstock. It's still in the embossing folder. And we're going to go over that with the early espresso just to pick up on that embossing. So I've embossed this with the birch embossing folder. And I'm going in a little bit darker. Now, any embossed pieces you will get in your kit. So with this series, sometimes I'm live and sometimes it will be go live, but I may not be live because there are times I might not be able to. It will be a pre-recorded video. It just depends on the day. Like when I'm in Brisbane, it's a little bit hard. But you will still get a fresh video. So this is a layer of mossy meadow, and we're just going to layer that together. I think I'll trim that a teensy bit. I might have rushed that. What happened when you emboss that, it shortens a bit sometimes. You might find that also with one of our newer embossing folders, which is coming, the corrugated. It's a little bit like that. You'll find it just adjust the length because it's scrunching it up a bit. Because it's got to create all that texture. So we'll stick that down. Now, Mossy Meadow is a color I haven't used a lot. I don't use heaps, but I'm loving it like a little more. And I'm using it, and it really goes well with this color, with Pecan Pie. And I use my designer series paper to pick up on the color. Use that as a guide. It helps. Some fantastic artist has done some work by selecting those beautiful colors, so to make our life easier. So let's use it. So I'm leaving a gap of about 1 centimeter. And centering it with top and bottom. And we'll glue that there. Next, I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of designer series paper. This is the Season of Green and Gold. It's a Christmassy one. So the other side is like foiled. You have the bells and the leaves and things. I'm using the plain side. So this is versatile in that sense, where you can use it. It doesn't have to be all the sparkles and things. And you can see I've just gone with something non-Christmassy. So a bit of a longer strip there and a narrower strip. And I'm overlapping. And then here it's just a wider and a shorter strip. I love gingham and I love stripes. Any paper like that is very effective for adding to your projects. It just grounds things, and when things are busy, it can add cohesion. Next, I've got 2 pieces of cardstock. One is a bit narrower than the other, Early Espresso and Basic White. I'm going to bring in my punch. This is the To The Point label punch. Now, this punch by width is 5 centimeters. I have trimmed this just a teensy bit less than that. So because I want this to fit in here. And I'm going to put it in there. And center it. And want it right in there. And this is one way to get a longer label. And do the same on the other side. Center it. And punch. Right. So instead of having a short label, we've got a square label. We've got a bit of a longer one. So now I'm going to do the same with my white piece. Again, insert it like that. Because if you did it like this, you're going to cut both sides. You don't want that. Not for this project. Right, again, center as best as you can. And I'll just show you how it is. And then you get a lovely matte layer there. And then we'll center, insert, center, punch. It is a little bit of trial and error in the sense of the mat might be too long or too short. That was lucky, but sometimes you might think, okay, that's a bit too much. I might need to go again and trim it down. So that's just a little bit of a tip for making your labels a little bit longer. I'm going to start working on this piece, and I've got my Chantilly lace stamp set, and I bought this stamp set purely for the lace. I like, there were some other bits in there too, but I love this image. It's just really, really nice. So we're going to ink it up in pecan pie and then stamp off. Ink it up again because I think partially didn't stamp off, and then we're going to just stamp across like that. Right? How pretty is that? That is really, really nice. Then I'm going to bring a stamp which is from the Elements of Text stamp set. Now, if you haven't got this, I am like the Chantilly lace, yes. This one is an online exclusive product. I highly recommend that one. Great texture, those dots. If you don't want to use your blends for splatters or you find it a bit tricky, this is going to add some beautiful texture. Those are really nice, the text. So we'll use some early espresso. And the A, you can tell it's a bit tricky with the other ones sometimes. It's a bit hard to see whether it's upside down or whatever. But I'm going to stamp just over that. And I know there's a lot going on, but I like that collagey look. I'm going to bring in my pecan pie again and do a bit of ink blending. Let's get most of it off, right? Just a touch here, just very lightly. And it's going to pull in some of the color from the lace as well. Just a little bit. Next, we'll get our Mossy Meadow ink pad. And there is this little leafy stamp from the Terrific Toadstool stamp set. I was trying to think. It is a lovely, it's my favorite image in that. There's stamps like that. Now, while this is not, a lot of it's not going to be seen, I like to have a bit of a background here. And by stamping in a darker color, you're going to see a little bit more. And we can extend that there. Okay. And that's just going to be like a little backdrop. I'm going to bring my Mossy Meadow, dark Mossy Meadow, because I don't know where my light one's gone, and it doesn't matter. I haven't had light Mossy Meadow for, I don't know, years. And I've never bought it because I don't use Mossy Meadow much, I said. But the stamping blend has gone for a walk. So now we're going to stamp this little a jug, vase. Where's my white cardstock? Never mind. You will get white cardstock in your kit. I'll make sure you get everything. I just forget to put it in mine. All right. So So we've got early espresso. We're going to color this one in Stamping Blend. So I'm going to be using pecan pie. I've got the deep. Now you can use the 100 or the 200, whatever you want. And I've got light wild wheat. So starting with my light pecan pie, I'm going to color over it. And we'll go like this. I'm just going on the edges. That's light. I was just making sure it was the light one. And then we can use the brush tip. So kind of a just all over for now, and then we'll add some depth to it. I make that the more lightest part. I'm gonna leave that in the center pretty much. And we'll just go around the corner there. I'll bring in my light pecan pie. Going a little bit over so when I die cut, you're not gonna have a white gap up the top. Just forming a curve as I color. Just like you would on a bowl or a nice vase. And then kind of flicking it so you partially kind of cover it. Now I'm going to bring in my dark pecan pie. We're going to add some shading here. So then you're going to get that lighter shade in there. I'm going to bring in this deep color. And just on that corner, add a bit of depth with that. Just on the handle, on the spout here. Because that's going to add your shading. Then I'll bring in my dark pecan pie and blend that in. Go back in with the light. And then you'll see some sort of definition coming in. We can add more of the darker color if we want. So on that inner, I'm going in a bit darker with the dark pecan pie. If you haven't got the Country Flowers dies and stamp set, the bundle, Sale-A-Bration's a good time to get it. I love it. These are some things, some of my favorite products are anything country style, anything beachy style. Most things I get, and I tend to hold on to those things. That's very much what I like to create with. So I'm going back in with dark pecan pie and I'll blend that in. I like to just keep going back and forth till I get a nice blend. So finally, I might just do a little bit of a, with the light just across like that. So to finish off, I'm bringing in my light wild wheat and going over the entire piece because I felt it was a bit cold and the wild wheat just warmed it up. Not that it was cold, but it just, I wanted extra bit of a warm tone to it. I just went over the entire thing with wild wheat. By doing that, it just pulled back some of that color, added it in. Now, I still could go back in with a bit more pecan pie. I'm just going in with the light. You could even bring dark wild wheat. And that blends it in nicely. I'm going to add a bit more of this dark color here, the deep. I want a bit more definition there. And I go in the middle color. The second darkest is the dark pecan pie. Okay, so we've done our vase. We just need to die cut that. And we have a nice little die, which is going to cut that out. I'll just put some masking or washi tape. You can use any, whatever you use to hold that down. And then we will die cut that. Whatever your preference is, either die cut it first or color first. Here we go. Get our base plate. Plate number 3. Then we'll cut that out. Right, so we've got a little die cut element there. I'm just placing all my pieces together, ready for assembly. The next thing we've got is some die cut leaves from the same bundle, the country flowers. And these will be all included in your kit. And because the kit ordering has finished, I am offering a little gift. If you purchase, you not only will you get Sale-A-Bration if your order is $100, today you will also get a gift from me. So when you place this all together, it's quite a rustic card. So we've got some darker tones, but I wanted to brighten it. But in saying that, so that's why I chose the, did I say shaded spruce? It's Shy Shamrock, right? But I really didn't want the Shy Shamrock to overpower. So to balance it out, I am using the Mossy Meadow to just blend slightly over. And it's just going to mute the Shy Shamrock. Even though it's going to still have that color, it'll mute it slightly. And you'll still have the brightness while bringing in that the Mossy Meadow from the DSP. So then you'll have a best of both worlds. So you can have the brightness of the shamrock. That's a tricky one to say. I'm going in and just giving these a bit of a curve with my bone folder. We can assemble this. Just adding glue to the back of the white label, and we'll center that on our matte layer of early espresso. I will add some dimensionals on the back of this. And we'll stick that down there. And then we do need to do a sentiment. So for our vase, it's going to sit like that. So that part's going to be layered on top of a piece that's already got dimensionals. So for this part, I'm going to add a double dimensionals. So we'll add two layered together. And on the top, I will just add one. Because it's already sitting on dimensionals. That's going to come off. That one. Not going to stick on anything on that handle. So we'll stick that down like that. So it's like so. I'm adding a teeny weeny bit of glue, dabbing it on. And the first one's going to go on the base. Okay. And the stamped leaves just added that body. So it had fullness in the back of the other leaves. And I just like that when I add my leaves. So it's got sort of some interest. And I'm going to kind of twisting this. So you're getting variation in spacing there. All right, so we've got that. And I do need an inside piece. So we're going to heat emboss this in white. If you have a stamp positioning tool, use it for heat embossing. Especially white, you want it to be nice and crisp because then you can do it multiple times and it's going to give you a really clean image. So I'm using this sentiment, which is from the Everyday Arches stamp set. I really like the nice big solid look. It gave it clarity. And that's a really nice bundle. The arches are really nice. So ink it up well. And just I'm stamping on Shy Shamrock. And then we're going to heat emboss in white embossing powder. Just gonna leave it there for a sec. I'm looking for tweezers. Right. These tweezers I've had for many moons. It's my paper tool tweezers. I couldn't work with regular tweezers, I don't think, ever again. I'm used to the reverse tweezers. So let's get that sorted there. And then heat your heat gun for a few seconds. That's so nice to see it turn like that and melt. It's the best. I like that crisp white on the shamrock. We are going to fussy cut that, but it's not a major fussy cut, so don't worry. It's fairly easy, this one. So straight. If you wanted to, you could draw a pencil line around your image or your sentiment so you can, it's easier, and just erase it after. Now again with this, I don't want to have it so stark like that shamrock, so I'm going to do a bit of distressing, minimal, but just something to make it work and tone in with the rest of my project on my card. Okay, so we've got that. So all I'm doing is taking the residue ink that is on my blending brush and touching up a little bit here and there. So not a lot, but enough to add some, just a little bit of brown. And then I'm going to add it there. I love how this card turned out, just the fact that you can use your DSP, which you would have for Christmas projects, and then make it unique and substitute it for something like this. It's just really nice to be able to do that. Okay, so we'll stick this down. Do that. All right. For the inside of the card and my envelope, I'm just going to cut it inside because I kind of didn't do that. We're going to stab that chantilly lace on again. And I am going to ink it up in pecan. It's got this lace stamp. I just love it. To get on this first, and then I can use the residue of second stamping on this. Kind of like that, just maybe I'll do it again. It wasn't dark enough, probably because I dropped it. That's better. That is better. And that's the good thing about distress projects. You can do what I just did, drop it, and it's not aligned, and it's okay. Just picking up that stamp there. And we'll bring my piece here back. Just sort of staggering it. Blending some pecan pie. I just use whatever's left over on my ink, my blending brush. Stamp leaves, a couple of leaves, just to bring in that mossy meadow. And maybe some splatters. And then it just looks a little bit tied in with a, I love it. And we have to add our linen thread and our embellishment still. Cannot forget the linen thread. All right, we've got that done. Let's embellish. Embellish, embellish. About 30 centimeters, like that, I normally use. A little bit more if I want longer tails. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck this in, this little glue dot, just a little bit under, partially, so I can put my linen thread, just so it's not too visible, the glue dot, and the knot as well. And try and tuck it in there. Twist that, make it sit nicely. And I want my tails there, a little bit off here. And for my finishing touch, I am adding some of these shimmer gems, which are in colors. which are in the last year's in colors, or which carry on to this year. And just make sure they're stuck down. And that's our finished card. This is my sample card, just dependent on how you actually, how much you tear off the edges. Your label will be different. Hi, Kayla. Thanks for joining. So, just that is kind of an eyeball thing, but it doesn't matter because you're only stamping on it. So, depends how long you want that label. You can add more or less of a border around it. You can trim that as long as that's kind of less than 5 centimeters or 2 inches. It'll fit in your punch to create that longer punch, longer label. So I hope you've enjoyed that class. I will see you next Friday for another new series, new with the mixed media florals. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.